Welcome to the NSAA Report, and we are about to get started right now. Let's turn that up.
Conceived by two mere mortals. I spent 9 months in the dark and then was pushed through a portal. Look out, cause here I come with untrained tongue. At this point, I can't speak, but I'm so far from dumb. My ambition from the start was to talk and be heard. Before I learned to walk, dad, my first words. After a while, I was a breaker in the B-boy stance with the black and red Pumas and the parachute pants. I used to also beatbox. I bit the styles of Doug Fresh with the and all that mess. But in '86, I checked out Rob's melody and started writing rhymes based on what Tom's was telling me. I must have battled every kid in this town. It wasn't long before they knew that B got down. I brought MC's Doom in the boys' restroom, and when I blew the spot, I left a Hiroshima mushroom cloud. It made my older brother proud. He put me down with his crew even though I was a child. I didn't know how to act on this task. Scam 4-track with 505 beats and a little keyboard in the back. Recording was an art I worked hard to learn. We used to make tapes, no CDs to burn. 5 songs for $4 was the rate of my first tape. It shimmied in the hood, but it didn't make the earth shake. Still I was hooked like a smack addict, and gripping microphones the only way to fix my rap habit. I was a boy then, but when manhood hit, I kept going, no plans to quit. Becoming man machine. Man machine. Man machine. He's not a man, he's a machine. Man machine. I've been held in high regard by the hardest to please. I'm a survivor of hate, though it's a deadly disease. I've overcome obstacles over 6 feet tall. Never did fall on road Adidas through it all. I stood firm with winds blew hardest. I didn't get wet when it rained and share my roof with other rap artists. I rock shows with rock bands. I hit other lands to expand, but didn't see another black man. I rock shows for no pay, with no stage, no lights, and no crowd. When most were just turned away, it's like automated moves now. I'm dropping lick after lick, no hesitating when I choose now. With the devastating pen grip, I went from Paul's mixed to Pro Tools and piloted my own trip. There's no doubt I take this art to the heart. I'm dropping hit after hit, probably never will a song chart. I took my hustle from the street to the stage, and hungry like I'm starving, haven't eaten in days. So throw your hands in the air, come on. Recognize it's your love for this art that is the ultimate prize for a man machine. Man machine. Man machine. He's not a man, he's a machine. Man machine. Break him off something, come on. Yeah.
All right, that was Man Machine by Mr. Hooper. If you don't know, that's my favorite song by Mr. Hooper, Man Machine. He has a couple of them that are really cool. He has a beatbox one on here that I like called Making My Move. He's trying to get with homegirl, and she was like, she didn't have any time for him until he said he had a car. And it was kind of cool.
I was walking down the street when I saw this girl and thought, girl, I want to rock your world. So I said, hello, miss. My name is Mr. Hooper, but she kept on stepping, tried to play me like a loser. So I said, slow down before she got too far. And she said it plain and simple. I don't know who you are. I said, give me 30 seconds if you got the time, and I'll tell you who I am and put it all in the rhyme. When I was a little boy, I had a big dream to rock microphones like the microphone fiend. Had my name up in lights, people saying my words, till she turned up her nose like I had some nerve. You out out here walking, trying to pick me up. But I'm headed for my car and you headed for the bus. She said, I'm sorry if I came across rude. She put out a hand to shake, so I made my move. I extended out my arm, put a flyer in the hand, told the ladies half price, come and check me with my band.
All right, so that was Making My Move by Mr. Hooper. So if you don't have that CD, you should have that CD because it's the bomb diggity, the highs and lows of a hero for hire. So just go to Mr. Hooper's page. I guess you could just mrhooper.com. I'm thinking that that's what his website is. But if it's not, if you just Google Mr. Hooper, you'll find him. He's a local cat, so he does a lot of local shows and stuff like that. So he hangs out with other local artists and they be doing, crossroad things. They be going out there on tour on a local scene. I guess it's a local tour scene, indie hip hop. So this is the first NSAA report. The reason why I'm doing this is because Facebook has decided that you can only invite 50 people to your events. Ain't that something? So if you create an event on your page, I have my own page. It's called NSAA, the Black Root. You can like me on Facebook if you want, and you can, be in the know, whenever I post something, it's on there. Or you can go to NSAA360.com and become a contributor in our community and help me out by giving me $10 a month. You get a poem a month. I will mail you a poem in the mail a month, as well as you get inside stuff like this video blog or this live blog that I'm doing right now. But the reason why I'm starting the NSAA report is because of that. It just was something else. It was like only 50 people. And then when you go on the support line, the support page, and you go on there, you have all these people complaining about 50, only getting 50, inviting 50 people to your event, people that already said that they wanted to be on your page. They already liked your page, so they really want to know what's going down already with you already, whatever you're doing, right? If you have a nonprofit organization or if you have a church or whatever page, if you only can invite 50 people to your events and stuff, it's the 10% rule. So it's like, okay, so if I invite 50 people, I'm only going to get 5 people that's going to show up. And so if I invite, the more people you invite, the more people that you, according to the 10% thumb rule, is that you'll get only 10% of all the people that you invite. So if you only can invite 50 people, that's, oh my God, And then, when they were saying they was complaining on there, like, oh, they was really having these elaborate arguments, all this kind of stuff that they was on there. Then their reply, they was, people was complaining 3 paragraphs deep, and then, then the lady or whomever replies, well, you got so many different options that you can use to share your event. You can share it on your feed, you can share it on your friend's feed, or you can do all this kind of stuff. But if Facebook, they have these algorithms that limit how far your post can go. So it's kind of counterintuitive for them to do that. It's like you want more people to have pages, more people to do these things and create buzz and all kind of stuff. It's a free service, but it's not free really, because they advertising to you, they pushing all these advertisements on you and all this kind of stuff. So they're really making money off of you. So, hey, we think that they will make it more easy for you to use their services. So now we have the NSAA report to try to get our information out there, my information out there, everything that I'm doing in the community. So let's get this started with the first thing I want to talk about, what's happening tonight. So I'm recording this on a Wednesday, on March 16th, Wednesday. So if you're watching this right now on the day that I'm recording it, you come out tonight at 9 o'clock to Mahogany Urban Poetry Series, located at 1704 Broadway, 17th and Broadway. And it's the is the restaurant right there. It's the Ethiopian restaurant right there on the corner of 16th and Broadway. You can't miss it. It's a big sign that says Queen Sheba Restaurant. And at 9 o'clock every Wednesday, we have poetry. If you don't know, I'm a poet, and I know it, and we're trying to grow it if we can. So come on out. It's an urban poetry venue. So we have a DJ, we have honey wine, we have Kyrie likes to burn incense. So if you like incense, you can come and smell the incense and all this kind of stuff. So you can do that. That'd be cool. But tonight we have as our feature poet. So if you're not familiar with how poetry works, the poetry scene works is that we have an open mic list, which you can sign up if you're a budding poet, right? If you're trying to, or if you're a seasoned poet and you got new stuff that you want to try out, you come and you sign up on the open mic list, you try it out, and to get a feel for it, and feel for it in your mouth and in the audience, and trying to figure out how the cadence should go and everything like that. All the technical stuff that poet think of, or poet or poetess thinks of. So but tonight, but after the open mic, we have, or in the middle of open mic, we have the feature. So the feature is a poet that comes out with a body of work that they want to present to the people, and they come and they get an opportunity to share that body of work. They get about 15 to 20 minutes to share that body of work. So it's longer than the open mics, because the open mic is usually about 5 minutes, and they get to share that. So it's so the open micers are kind of like the openers. They open for the feature, and so the feature tonight we have is Lord Cyrus. He used to go by Pharaoh Ivan, but now his new name is Lord Cyrus, and he changes his name. I guess he's still searching. He's still he's growing as we all do, trying to find something that speaks to him. It's kind of like Leroy Jones changed his name to Baraka. So, he evolved to that name, and so we all evolve. And kind of like mine's is NSAA. That's my poet name. So that I go by. I evolved to that name because I was thinking about many names before I evolved, and finally settled on NSAA. But if you're a lucky bastard like Sean King, you don't have to even think about that. You could just go out there and be like, I'm Sean King, and because that's such an awesome poetry name. So hey, Sean. And then also next up we have For Coffee and Poets. That's a Sunday show that I do. It's a podcast, a live podcast that I do. So it goes down at Nicket Lounge, 1111 H Street. So yes. So it's 1111 H Street. It's right downtown, that you can go there, and it's a little stage area in the back. It's a cute little stage area. It's a nice little venue that we tape the live show. And so this time around, the idea for Coffee and Poets is that I find a poet to interview other poets. So our guest interviewer this time around, which he's a seasoned guest interviewer, is Bob Stanley, and he will be interviewing, which I'm very excited about since it's Women's History Month, is Allegra Silverstein. Hopefully I'm saying her last name right, Silverstein. She used to be the poet laureate of Davis. It's going to be awesome. It's awesome because I admire her so much in the poetry scene. She comes out and she supports other people's stuff, and she's, and she is one of the most active poets out there in the local area. And she used to be a dancer, so she's this petite woman, and it's going to be very nice. So come on out as Bob Stanley interviewing the poet laureate from Davis, used to be poet laureate from Davis, Allegra Silverstein. So that is awesome. That's on Sunday. But before we get to Sunday is Thursday. So on Thursday, this is the last event I have this week, and then next week is going to be Luna's Cafe, which we have 10 Call is going to be actually our feature poet at Luna's Cafe on next Thursday at 8 o'clock at Luna's Luna's Cafe. But on Thursday, so on Thursday we have, I do a reading with Mary up at the Sacramento Room, in the Sacramento Room at the Central Library. And Mary Zeppa and I do a reading there. And but the important thing about this reading is that you don't read your work, you read other people's work. So that's the special thing. It's because usually poets don't really read other people's work. And, it's such an amazing idea is to have us get together and actually read other people's work. You can read, some Langston Hughes, or you can read a local poet, which I try to do. I try to dig into my box of local poets because I have all these chapbooks and poetry books from local poets, and I try to read from that because I don't often get a chance to read their stuff. So it gives me an opportunity to expose myself to their stuff, which is awesome, which is very cool. And all right, so the rundown is, again, let me reshuffle these. So, okay, on tonight at 9 o'clock at Mahogany Urban Poetry Series, we have Lord Sirius and open mic and the open mic list. So come out and get on the open mic list, which is awesome, to share your stuff. You get 5 minutes just to act a fool. You can tap dance, you can rap, you can do whatever. You can do comedy, anything on the open mic list. You can bring your saxophone, play your saxophone, or you can, or you can just stand there. This one guy got up there and he did a improvisational piece where he just stood there and he was like, okay, that's my poem, which was in my opinion awesome, because it was verbal, but it was nonverbal. It was body language. It was cool. So we have Lord Sirius tonight at 9 o'clock at Queen Sheba Restaurant, located at 1704 Broadway in Sacramento, California. And tomorrow, on Thursday, we have the Sacramento Room reading at the Central Library, and that's located at 828 I Street. It's at 12 o'clock, so it's at around lunchtime. So if you eat your lunch early, because you can't eat anything in the Sacramento Room, but if you eat your lunch early, like at 11 o'clock, you can come there and at 12 o'clock and just be a part of the poetry thing. Bring a book, bring a poetry book somebody else wrote, and I forgot what the theme is this time around. March is the month of expectation. So the things we do not know, the person of prognostication are coming now. So Emily Dickerson, I guess that's a quote from Emily Dickerson. So it's a spring season, so bring some spring poems, okay? Poems about expectation, if you can, but it's a loose theme. You don't necessarily, because I really don't follow that myself. I just try to read from local poets. But Mary Zeppa is very good about bringing poems that's very themed. She goes online, she searches for these poems by other poets, and I guess, yeah. So come on out tomorrow, and at the Central Library in the Sacramento Room. Is located at 828 I Street. Come on out for that. And yes, and that's put on by the Sacramento Poetry Center. And then on Sunday, very special Sunday, we have Bob Stanley, the poet laureate that used to be poet laureate in Sacramento, Bob Stanley, interviewing Allegra Silverstein, that used to be poet laureate of Davis. So it's very cool. It's going to be a poet laureate show. So that's a live taping broadcast. So come on out and be a part of the live show. You can clap, on cue. You can do all this kind of stuff. So it should be interesting because, that she's going to have such wonderful stories. So the Coffee and Poets is not just about reading poetry, but it's about the poet and their process and their history and their and what makes them write. So that's what that is all about, which is very cool. So yes. All right. And moving on to other stuff. So yes, please go on to NSAA360.com and support me. You can buy some CDs, or you can buy, I've been loading, I just loaded the first Coffee and Poets on there for purchase on my website. So you can purchase that to support us. I think that's about $5 fundraising kind of thing, or you could pay more. You can type in there $10 and pay more to support everything that we're trying to do in the poetry scene, everything that I'm trying to do in the poetry scene, which is thankful because I'm a starving artist. You can give me some coffee money or some zip card money, which is cool. I do the whole zip card thing if I can afford it. So if you can do that, that'd be awesome. Also, too, you can join the community on there that we have, and you'll be privy to all the stuff that we're doing, and then also if I load something new, you get first dibs on that. Because I'm gonna start loading. I'm gonna start loading all the Coffee and Poets on there, as much as I can fit on there. That they allow me to fit on there. And so if you buy more stuff, then they allow me to load up more stuff. So please support me. And yes, so I guess that's our show for the NSAA Report, which is about to come to an end, I guess. So yes, there we go. And also you can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Twitter, NSAA on Twitter. So just type it in, NSAA, the Black Root, or NSAA 360. And you can find me on Facebook. I have a Meetup page. You can go on there and NSAA 360 on Meetup. And that's another way to stay in touch in everything that's going on in the urban. Because if you like the stuff that I do, which is mostly urban poetry, but it's not exclusively urban poetry. We do some things with the Sacramento Poetry Center. We do some things at Luna's Cafe. I host at Luna's Cafe every fourth Thursday of the month, and I host at Mahogany every third Wednesday of the month, which is you should come on out to these poetry venues. You know, even if you're not a poet, come out and support the poetry art form. And Mahogany is $5 at the door. Luna's Cafe is a one drink minimum. You can come out there and buy coffee, and you can stay there all day and listen to some poetry, which is rowdy and profane and sacrilegious. So yes, come on out to Mahogany, which is the same thing. If you most of my stuff is free speech. So we encourage free speech, but it's not only limited to that. We have some people that come out there and share some Christian poetry and that kind of thing. And if it's Women's History Month, so you can come out and read some Nikki Giovanni, and that'd be awesome too as well. You can bring other poets' work and read that stuff, which we love homage pieces, to pay homage to another poet. Yes, I think that's the end of our show. I think so. I'm going to try to go out on another Mr. Hooper song because he's the man. As you know, Man Machine is my favorite thing, but I'm not going to bore you with that. I am going to play The Professional because I am not a professional. Yeah, I am anything else but professional. I just have issues. So I try to be professional. I try my hardest to be professional, but I'm too much of an artist. I'm too scatterbrained. I'm trying to pull it together. So here we go. The Professional. And this is what we're going to go out on. So listen to this. Have fun.
Like pamphlets, the harder on the mic the man gets, the tighter his hand grips. I'm dangerous with my landmine rhymes, and I'm repping on these tracks like I'm throwing gang signs. Black Master, fist to the north side of Cali. The shadow of death residing deep in the valley. Adopted by a nation of hip-hop enthusiasts and losing grip on all of that 9-to-5 job. I'm live with the flow. My show is electric. Fans can't wait. Make believers out of skeptics. I mess with deep astronomical thinkers who be quick to drop lines and hold it down like a sinker as I fall through the shaft of life. I'm trying my best to grip the side so I can take a slow ride and see everything that's going down. Running through my mind a couple times, then adapting to my sound. The Professional. He's professional. She's professional. He's professional. We's professional. Yeah, let me ask y'all.
Who's professional?